Most activewear founders get luxury fabric completely wrong. They think that luxury fabric is buttery soft or a fabric that is non-sheer or that's super thick. And although there is some truth to that, there is way more than meets the eye when picking what makes a fabric luxury in the activewear space. Because customers don't just understand gimmicky terms like buttery smooth. They don't understand lab reports that show how much or what quality of elastane or lycra you have in your fabric. They respond to 5 to 6 key triggers that I'm going to be outlining in today's episode so that you can put together the ultimate luxury fabric. Whether you're building a legging in a sportswear set, or whether you're building a hoodie set, you should know these main elements so that way when you go to market, you are getting the best bang for your buck in terms of the fabric selection and how customers perceive it. So without further ado, I'm going to run you guys through the key elements that make a great fabric. My name is Shadi Adada. I'm the co-founder and creative director of FittDesign, the world's first sportswear design agency. We take brands from a idea to a physical product in 30 days. And over the last 10 years, I've literally touched pretty much an infinite number of fabrics. And these are the key elements that keep coming up time and time again that get me and customers like you to know that this is a great fabric. The first one is going to be what we call as the light test, or whether a fabric shines or whether it's matte. The easiest way to go about this is Lululemon has created in its Luon fabric a great matte looking fabric that has been associated over time as being luxury. So what ends up happening is if your fabric looks shiny without the intention of it looking shiny, what this indicates is pretty much plastic, because shine is considered or it's aligned with plastic. And the challenge with this is if someone perceives your product as being heavy in plastic, aka shiny, this immediately degrades and devalues the product in their eyes. So that's why a lot of brands ultimately opt for controlling the level of shine through their product. What does it mean to control the level of shine? Usually shine comes from it's either the polyester, the nylon, or the spandex that's showing through. Polyester is the biggest offender of this. If polyester is left in its regular form, it's going to have a tremendous amount of shine. So what brands do is they peach or they brush the fabric slightly in order to overcome this. If you want something that is going to be a great fabric without needing to peach it, you may want to go for nylon. Nylon has less traditional shine than the typical polyester, and it typically tends to feel higher quality on the skin. Although your mileage may vary depending on the type of nylon you go for. There's again a variety of different types of nylon. There's nylon 6, nylon 66, and there are name brands of nylon from different companies like DuPont. So all of this is to say that you need to have a controlled level of sheen in your garment depending on what fabric and what effect you want. 2. Consider the type of spandex that's used. Spandex is a huge contributor towards unnecessary shine. So we've already identified that you should go away from polyester and towards nylon, as that tends to be a better sort of fabric to pick or fiber to pick. And it's also better to have a little bit of peaching in your fabric if it makes sense for that specific garment. And also tend to use a higher grade of spandex like lycra, which will shine less when stretched, because it's when the fabric is stretched that you see between the gaps of the weft and the warp that allow you to see the spandex shine through, which typically tends to have a milky white appearance, which is what gives the fabric its shine. Number 2 is going to be the hand feel test. Luxury in the activewear space is typically associated with a fabric that is matte and buttery smooth, although that's one specific lane that you can take. But there are some garments where it doesn't make sense in order to go for a peached fabric, because functionally that may not be the right approach. A case in point of this might be a high compression garment that requires a nylon spandex blend. In this case, peaching the fabric would cause your fabric or cause your garment to lose its compressive ability as you break down the fibers and you expose it to more or a lack of durability over time as you're already broken down the fibers, which makes that fabric more prone to those little balls of fuzz on the surface of the fabric, which we call pilling. So in general, you have 3 main lanes of fabric quality. Number 1, you have what is known as the peach soft or the buttery soft, which is what happens when we microbrush or we peach the surface of the fabric, agitating the fibers and creating that matte and fuzzy cotton-like appearance. That's a great option if you're going for a daily lounge active legging. Number 2, you have what is known as the technical dry. This is going to have that performance feel, which is going to give you a little bit of a shine, but it's going to be breathable. It's going to have a uniform color, so you're not going to have areas where you have a lot of shine and areas where you have a little bit of shine, and it's going to look premium when stretched. This has to do with the spandex content and the type of spandex you use. Case in point of this might be something like a 2XU compression garment, which is a nylon spandex blend or sometimes even a polyester spandex blend, but a high quality of spandex is used so that when the garment is stretched, it doesn't have that cheap plasticky feel. Number 3 is that technical dry, similar to what I'm wearing here. Technical dry is crisp and it has a performance feel, and sometimes it might even have a matte appearance. It's great when stretched, but also it has a very unique look and feel to it. When you rub the surface of it, it literally has that sharpness and that crispness. It's woven fabrics that tend to do very well with the technical dry appearance. So garments like swim shorts, running shorts, windbreaker jackets all want to have that technical dry appearance. And the mistake that a lot of brands make ultimately is that they choose softness without the need for stability, which means that they're using a peach finish on garments that require high durability, which often turns into pilling or leggings that don't perform well over time. So what you need to do today is pick a lane for the type of product that you're using and make sure that it aligns with the end use of the garment. Number 3 is the density test, because weight is not the same as heft. Just because something is thick doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be perceived as a great quality fabric. There's a lot of thick fabrics that have a spongy feel that make it look like a cheap Temu or Shein type of product. Because what customers understand as premium is a fabric that feels substantial without necessarily feeling bulky or obstructing. You know, a hoodie that has that great feeling dense fabric that you put on, it's structured in a specific way where when you put it on, it drapes your body and it complements your body. A really good example of the difference of this is a fabric that has a French terry finish versus a fabric that has a micro brush fleece finish. They both might be the same composition, but the finish of the micro brush fleece gives the fabric a little bit more weight and structure so that when you wear it, it just feels a little bit more premium. Again, it comes down to the end use, but it's small nuances like this that make a huge difference. Density is key. It's what makes a garment feel packed and feel substantial when it's worn and when it's experienced. The easiest way to tell a dense fabric from a thick fabric that is just hollow is by pinching it and sort of pulling it a little bit. A fabric that has a hollow feeling will immediately collapse between your two fingers and you'll feel the hollowness in the fabric. Typically, this is tend to be seen in fabrics that are sort of made out of a quote-unquote scuba-like lamination, and that tends to be cheap fabrics that really are trying to save on money but give the appearance of structure. On the opposite end, if you have a fabric that is dense, you'll feel it between your two fingers. You'll feel the weight of the fabric and the compactness of the fabric in that test. Number 4 is going to be the stretch recovery test. This is essential, especially for activewear. The last thing that you want is a garment that doesn't hold up with your day-to-day needs. And the easiest way to be able to test this is take a fabric, stretch it out to around 1.5 to 2 times its width, and then hold it there for 10 seconds, and then let it release. The level of tension or retention in its form is going to indicate to you how luxury or how premium that fabric is. If it immediately loses its form from that one interaction, you're going to be able to tell that if you wear that kind of fabric on a legging, for example, it's going to puddle up in different areas of the garment, whether it's in the crotch area, whether it's the knee, whether it's in the calf, and that attachment or that level of fabric sort of consumption makes the garment look unwearable and look cheap. That all has to do with the ability of a fabric to stretch and to retain its elasticity over time. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a premium feeling fabric that stretches and then snaps back cleanly without losing any of its resistance. It also holds the body without fighting it, which means it's not pushing and pulling in odd places, it's conforming to the shape of the body. This is what we call as a second skin appearance or effect. And lastly, it's a shape that stays consistent over time, over washes. All of those contribute to how customers perceive your fabric. And number 5 is going to be the opacity test. And this is especially essential in sportswear because it's not necessary that a fabric that has some sort of sheer is cheap, but in activewear, opacity indicates a lack of confidence. Because if you know that you can't put on a pair of leggings and that you won't feel self-conscious walking around the city, walking around the gym, going about your day-to-day, you're not going to invest your money into this. And the easiest way to do this is a squat test. Take a regular squat position and have some form of way to review, whether it's a camera, whether it's some sort of mirror, to be able to see if what you're wearing underneath is visible. If it's visible to you, it's going to be visible to others. And that's the easiest way to see whether or not a fabric is premium when it comes to sheer. Number 6 is going to be the noise test. This is an interesting one because you immediately know if something sounds expensive by the way that it's going to crinkle, the way it's going to rub up against the surface of your skin. If you're wearing a fabric that has a high synthetic percentage in it, and you can feel that you're wearing a garbage bag as you go along because every single movement you make is wrinkling and crinkling, others are hearing this as well, which is going to create an uncomfortable environment for you and those around you. The easiest way for you to do is to take a fabric, hold your iPhone mic up to it, and run your finger across the surface of the fabric and see the intensity, the difference in sounds. If what you're getting sounds like a bunch of different sounds and orchestras going off, this indicates a fabric that is very plasticky and very synthetic. If you notice Lululemon's Luon fabric, the matte finish on it creates a smoothness and a softness to it that really does not create a lot of noise. So when you're wearing it, you know that every single time that you're running or you're sitting down, you're not generating an entire orchestra of sounds just by doing so. So what are the top 5 upgrades that you can do today to your activewear collection to be able to give off a great impression for your fabric? Number 1 is control the shine. Make sure that whether or not you go for a matte or a shiny fabric, that it's intended. Shiny fabrics tend to work better for more performance-oriented associations, and matte fabrics tend to work better for more daily use garments where there's less of a need to stand out. 2, choose the right softness. If you're going for a super matte appearance, then chances are you're going to go for a soft feeling fabric. However, if your fabric is going to be used in areas where friction or where it's going to be washed quite often, maybe once a day or twice, 3 times a week, then softness is not going to be the way to go. Things like compression garments, activewear performance garments are going to need a little bit less softness for durability over time. 3 is match the fabric to the intent of the product. Like I've mentioned, if your garment is more intended to be used as a lounge product, then perhaps a softer, thicker fabric is going to be key. But if your garment is going to be used as a running product, then maybe a more slick, lightweight fabric is going to be key. Number 4 is make the color work for you. There are specific fabrics that perform much better in specific colors. You tend to notice windbreakers use high, vibrant colors for a variety of reasons. Number 1 is for visibility, but 2, the type of fabric that's typically used is synthetic, and that synthetic fabric tends to showcase colors very well. When you peach fabric or brush fabric, you tend to dull out the fabric's appearance, which is why on a lot of peach garments, you tend to notice colors that are more muted, more pastel. It also plays into the fact that these garments tend to be used more on day-to-day activities. Is build what is known as a fabric identity. If you look at any major retailer like Vuori, like Lululemon, like Alfleet, like Buff Bunny, they have specific fabrics for specific circumstances. Vuori has their Dreamnet fabric, which is a great Luon competitor. And Alfleet has their Alpha Lux fabric, which is, again, within that same range. Different fabrics will have different performances, and if customers understand what they're buying into, then that creates a sense of luxury. If your fabric is intended to perform as a soft, daily, or a lounge-like fabric, then you curating a idea around that and being able to separate that fabric performance from another fabric performance, which may be more performance-oriented, gives customers the confidence to know that if they like this fabric, they can get these other products with this fabric, which helps you increase sales and helps build up credibility and consistency with customers, which is key for any brand, especially small-scale startup brands. If you guys are struggling with how you can come up with your own fabric blend, and specifically you have a couple of items and you're worried about how customers are going to perceive them when they launch in the market, you can check out the link in the description to apply to work with us one-on-one. We can help you go from an idea to a physical product in under 30 days with a phenomenal fabric that really puts your name on the map. And I'd be more than happy to hop on a call with you guys. I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fit Design TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.